A central part of UTSA's main campus is getting a makeover to create safer paths for walkers and bikers. As Eyewitness News reporter John Coker explains, it was the death of one highly revered community member that has brought life to this initiative.
Tito Bradshaw was an entrepreneur and beloved leader in the San Antonio biking community who was killed back in April after being struck by a car on Houston Street.
Today, UTSA students and community members are putting their hands to the plow to pave a new path in Bradshaw's honor.
Students from UTSA's sustainability program have been instrumental in getting bike lanes approved and funded for walkers and bikers.
There's 9 or 10 apartment communities along UTSA Boulevard, and we need to have a pathway that comes into campus because they're walking right now in the mud.
The campaign is called Make UTSA Walkable. Volunteers gathered this morning to start paving a 300-foot granite path that runs past the Jimenez information booth, recently named the Tito Bradshaw Bicycle Repair Shop. Since Bradshaw's death, the university has received more support from volunteers and students like Christian Dittmer, who was motivated to lead design on this project.
In our design, we're kind of focusing on just like inclusion and accessibility and community, which was something that Tito Bradshaw was super passionate about, was bringing people together.
People like loved ones, students, and close friends.
Miss him very much.
All say this initiative is right on track with Bradshaw's vision for the community.
I would like to believe that he'd be really proud through the tragedy of losing him. It's bringing more awareness and bringing more people to cycling and hopefully the awareness of being safe.
From UTSA on 1604, John Coker, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.